go. Get ready to go with this one. How you doing? This is Ed Gray Commiss Radio Show and Ed Gray Doctoral or Liberal Studies student at Southern Methodist University. Today's subject will be zoning and land usage. So hold on while we get ready to log on to Facebook Live. That was a good take. Got it. Technology being what it is today. We're going to share the various groups, and we're going to see what we're going to put on here. A great political page, and we're live now, and we're ready to go. So we're now broadcasting on both pages, the Ed Gray political page and also the Ed Gray just straight up Facebook page, and live up close and personal. We are filming this as well. I wanted to spend a couple of minutes to talk to you about zoning. And I know right now you're getting ready to turn the camera, getting ready to turn to another person's feed because you're saying zoning is absolutely boring. Well, zoning can be absolutely boring if you don't know what you're talking about and what it's about. Now, generally speaking, zoning is about land usage. I've lost 5 people already. Land usage, and it's about, can I do something with my property? Can I do something with my land, such as can I build that storage shed in the back? Okay, you want to build your storage shed in the back, it has to be 12 feet high. And you say, okay, how can I make it 24 feet high? I want to make it 24 feet high. You say, no, you can't do that because then you'll be able to look into your neighbor's home, which we can't have you do that. And then there's another question you may ask. You say, well, I just want to go ahead and put plumbing into it and make it into a game room. Well, you can't do that because then it will not be a storage shed. It will be an apartment. But that being said, what I'm talking about today is land usage on a broader sense. And a broader sense is, the community, the African American community, the Hispanic community, the Native American community. We have all been hit by land usage. Now, specifically, the Native American community, land usage has been like a real mother for you. You know what I'm saying? Because they have no usage of their own land. They're gone. And, I took a recent tour of the Dallas-Fort Worth area in what they call in zoning parlance. I took a windshield tour, which means I took a tour of Dallas-Fort Worth, didn't get out of the car, took pictures of it, and just, did my due. So I'm driving down Collins Boulevard in Arlington, Texas, and I'm trying to find Native American sites because it's obviously Native American Day. So what I'm doing is I'm going down Collins and I find a spot where there was a battle that was fought between the Texas settlers and the Native Americans. Now today, it's a strip mall center. Yep, that's right. So zoning and the invisible people, that's what I'm talking about. Zoning and the invisible people. It seems like society today has a way in which they zone people out, the undesirables, if you will. So in this particular case, it was not desirable for us to have a sign up saying that this great battle had been fought here between the Texans and the Caddo Indians and the Cherokee Indians. So instead, we decided to just go ahead and knock that off and go ahead and put this shopping center. That's the Veridian, I believe that's the name of the Veridian. Well, anyway, it's on Collins. So anyway, if you can go to Collins and on your way to Haltom City and Euless, on your way there, you'll be able to see what was once about it. Now, how does this relate to African Americans? African Americans have been hit by zoning for many, many years. Example, zoning, again, Fair Park. What happened in Fair Park was people had homes right next to Fair Park, and it was decided that Well, it was decided that some people did not want to go ahead and park in the community. They needed extra parking, or they needed more parking, so they knocked people's homes out. So when they knocked people's homes out, they took people out. So that was an example of zoning the undesirable people. They were invisible at that particular point, so therefore they had to go. Now, I was driving. I was driving to the Trinity River bottom. And you say Trinity River bottom. That means you're from Dallas. You're not from Dallas, so you don't know what I'm talking about. The Trinity River bottom, the 10th Street District, the historic Freedmen's District, the one of the last historic black freedmen's towns in the city of Dallas. We had over 10 of them, but this one is still intact. But right now, it's on the Trinity River bottom. It's on the levee of the Trinity. If you look over the levee, you'll see downtown Dallas. That levee was built so the people who formerly lived on the bottom wouldn't get flooded when the Trinity River flooded. An example again of land usage. The land usage in this particular case was that the undesirable people was zoned to be on the Trinity River bottom, and that's where they were going to be at. If we didn't see them, the better off it is. If it floods, that's on them because they're on the bottom. But now, the bottom now is beginning to become the top because land usage being what it is today, is that land is now valuable because, well, the city of Dallas has a 20-year plan. Well, we have plans of what we're going to do next week. Cities have plans of what they're going to do what they're going to go ahead and do for the following 10 to 15, 20 years. So in this particular case, you can pick up one of these books, and you can pick up one of these books. Well, I have the Grand Prairie book right here. Oh, wow. Heavy, isn't it? Well, anyway, you can pick up one of these books from City Hall. But the land usage for that area now is that on the other side of that levee, they're going to build what we consider to be Town Lake. Have you ever been to Austin? Well, that's what they want to build there, a lake. So that land there is very valuable. So now what you see is happening is that when people lose their homes through condemnation or not paying taxes, the city comes in and then, well, they go ahead and they seize the land and take the land because they can get it for little or nothing. Just like they've done many other times through condemnation, like I-35. I-35, as you can see right now, they're putting all of this traffic. They disrupted traffic. But on I-35, you see when you're driving from north to south Dallas County, and you see that they're putting up this retaining wall. Well, I got news for you. That retaining wall is supposed to be to stop all the traffic noise from getting into the community and the people can't hear things. But that's not the real reason, folks. The real reason for those nice, pretty brick concrete retaining walls is because it is a wall. It walls people into their community. So other people, when they're driving to their nice communities south of Dallas, be they white or black, that they don't have to see the African Americans and the Hispanic Americans and those individuals who are still left behind in what they call the inner city. So that is the reason why we have that wall there. Now I know, I'm here, I'm shocking and amazing you with all of this morning, but it is zoning of the invisible people because it is saying that it's progress. I guess it is progress. It's more progress when you have better parking at Fair Park, but it took people's homes away. That was progress. I guess it was, progress when we created I-35 East, and we're cutting through the 10th Street District, and we took over 175 homes that were, that freeway wasn't always there. Those were people's homes right there that you were at the Marsalis exit and the 12th Street exit. Those were people's homes. So anytime in America that we are building a freeway, we're generally speaking having that freeway being built through minority communities because we consider them invisible. And that being said, I want to go ahead and close off with that because I will be taking a windshield tour coming soon of Cadillac Heights. Cadillac Heights. This is Cadillac Heights was an area of town, because it no longer exists, was an area of town in which they had the highest concentration of lead, well, since Flint, Michigan, before Flint, Michigan. And obviously we'll take a tour of the West Dallas housing projects. It's not there anymore, folks. It's not down too. Again, zoning. They zoned homes to be next to, well, lead smelter plant. And then, of course, we'll take a tour to Jockey. 2 cement factories zoned into a historic African-American freedmen's town. Do you see a plot? Is it thickening? Well, hopefully you'll come back for more. Ed Gray, signing off.